actually takes place in this auditorium. I wish to request all of the United People to come forward and present many of those to our excellencies and guests. Dr. Seema. We have a chief guest here, Professor Singh, who is Vice Chairperson, Higher Education Council, UT of JK. I request Madam Principal to present the bouquet and an intro to our chief guest, Professor Singh. Now we have Professor A. Ravindranath on the Vice Chairperson campus. Fully from welcome sir to this institution. Now we have Professor Manisha Priyam from History of Education in Delhi. Once again, to this institution. Professor Yasmeen, our Director of Colleges. Thank you once again for dignitaries and excellencies. And welcome to all guests represented here in the auditorium. So as I said before any business and any exchange takes place, one more thing. I would request Madam Principal to formally welcome our dignitaries, guests and faculty. Madam Principal, Dr. Seema.
Thank you, Fazl. Esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Shri, Vice Chair, Higher Education Council, Government of JK, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central University of Shri, Professor A. Ravindranath, Professor Manisha Priyam, Professor Babu, Department of Educational Studies, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, Professor Yasmeen, Ashai, Director of Colleges, Government of JNK, Professor Rizvi, Registrar, Cluster University, Srinagar, Professor Nazir Sintani, Principal, Bemda College, Principal SP College, my dear faculty members, faculty from the Kashmir Division Colleges, students, participants, paper presenters, good morning and a warm welcome to this 2 days national conference on NEP 2020 Innovative Pedagogical Approaches and Evaluation Reforms in Higher Education. I, on behalf of the whole family of IASC, express my sincere gratitude to our distinguished chief guest, Professor Singh, for accepting our invitation and embracing the inaugural event as a chief guest. He is a distinguished academician, a teacher, an innovator, a policy maker, and the awardee of India's highest civilian award, the most prestigious Padma Shri. He has been instrumental for launching the Innovative Design of Degree program and also established the Cluster Innovation Center at Delhi University. He has been the former Vice Chancellor of the prestigious Delhi University, Chancellor, and honor to welcome Professor A. Ravindranath, Vice Chancellor, Central University of Kashmir. Professor Nath is working with great dedication and determination to take the prestigious Central University of Kashmir to greater heights. Under the dynamic leadership of our dear Professor Ashai, the Department of Higher Education has seen a transformation and witnessed the implementation of NEP 2020. To overcome the implementation challenges, Professor Yasmeen organized a series of workshops and conferences both in Jammu and Kashmir division. She has always led us from the front and is a role model for all of us. Her unwavering dedication, leadership qualities, commitment has been a guiding force for all in the higher education institutions of JNK. She is a patron of this conference, and ma'am, we warmly welcome you to this conference, and we also acknowledge your support and guidance to our interns, and we have had great results in our internship. The institution is working hard to build its collaboration and linkages with other institutions. Besides B.Ed, we are offering M.Ed, MA education, integrated B.Ed, M.Ed. We have also started skill courses in ECCE and mushroom cultivation. And we have also introduced UG Honors in Education post NEP 2020. We envision to start integrated teacher education program, and we are waiting for the NCTE affiliation for that, and PG in Gender Studies. A proposal has also been submitted to Dean Academic Affairs, Cluster University, Srinagar, for introducing the innovative design your degree from the e-resources. We have always taken lead in organizing national conferences on pertinent themes. With the implementation of NEP in the higher educational institutions of JNK, it is imperative to deliberate how to bring about a paradigm change in our pedagogy and assessment to enhance quality. We cannot have a lecture method of teaching to develop critical thinking. It has to conference will provide a platform for sharing ideas, critiquing perspectives, and exploring possibilities of using innovative pedagogy and leveraging assessment strategies, catapulting into a hallowed position of the Vishwa Guru as envisioned by NEP. In his absentia, I thank Sir Shri Alok Kumar, Principal Secretary, Higher Education, Government of J&K for his support and to make this conference possible. In the end, I want to place my sincere gratitude to the organizing committee in general and Fazl, the conference coordinator, for going an extra mile in preparing a very innovative conference digest, which has all the smart links wherever you click. We request the chief guest to please come forward so that we can release our smart conference digest, and at the same time, all the participants whose WhatsApp group has been formed, we will share the conference digest with you in your WhatsApp group so that you can peruse through it and we save our paper. Thank you very much.
Request our chief guest to please come to the lectern and release the smart conference digest. The book of its time, please sir, will be helped by taking. It's there.
Just click here. Okay.
We got to pick up our website.
Okay.
This is called Inaugural.
This has been done by Seema.
Yes, sir. This is the document on which our conference is based. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Now, I'm taking you just share this document, this smart conference digest in the group of the participants and delegates and other guests. So you will just now find it in your pockets, and you can click any hyperlink given there in the document. We just clicked one on the college image and it showed you the picture and the overview of the college through the eyes of the phone. And the second click was done on the innovative pedagogical approaches document, the Ministry of Education document, and it is there on the screen. And the conference is actually based, it is focused, it foregrounds this document. Innovative pedagogical approaches and evaluation reforms in higher education. We have just added this phrase, higher education, because this document is adjacent to national education policy, and it talks about innovative pedagogical approaches. Now, it was already, we all know that all of us, as we are teachers, we have been guilty of pedagogic reductionism, usually in our classrooms. Pedagogic reductionism, we usually talk about innovative pedagogy. We talk about constructivism, which is already there in this document. We talk about behaviorism. We talk about critical pedagogy or liberationism. And when we talk about pedagogical mix, as this document recommends, leveraging all these three pedagogies together and devising a kind of a pedagogical mix, or I can say a pedagogical funnel, which would enable our teachers to make, you can say, our students critical thinkers, creative, reflective thinkers. So, as teachers, when we go to classrooms, we resort to pedagogical reductionism, as I would say. Our curriculum would be broadest and widest. Our curriculum could be, you can say, quite flexible. It could be extensive as well. It would include not many things. It's quite broad. It has good amount of, you can say, borders, which are, you can say, pushed backwards. But somehow, whenever this curriculum is conducted through this narrow funnel of pedagogy, in this pedagogy in the classroom, so curriculum could be grand, curriculum could be broad, but somehow using innovative pedagogy, using innovative pedagogical mix where you leverage behaviorism or in your pedagogy. So, in a sense, our institutional education usually suffers this kind of ailment, this kind of pedagogical reductionism. And even in school education, we usually talk about pedagogy, teaching, learning. But there as well, this pedagogic reductionism is resorted to. You lose sight of affective domain. You lose sight of even cognitive domain. You just bring your focus on just cognitive aspect. And then, while transacting in the classroom, you just shorten that cognitive aspect as well. You leave, you can say, the higher order thinking skills. You just come to understanding at most, and at worst, you reduce your teaching to, you can say, rote memorization. So this is the biggest tragedy of our education system. This document, if it's fully understood by the faculty of, you can say, of the colleges, of the higher education institution, it would, you can say, bring in significant reform. That's why our faculty in this college felt that this document was quite important. It must be brought to the foreground. The discussion must be had on this document. If we just put this document to the background, throw it to the back burner, then probably we would be doing greater disservice to our education system. With these words, I would like to request our director of colleges, Professor Yasmeen, Ashai, to come forward and talk about NEP and its key issues in J&K. Professor Yasmeen, Ashai.
NEPA, Minister of Education, New Delhi. Professor Seema, Principal of the host college. Other dignitaries on and off the dais, respected colleagues, scholars, and their students. A very good morning and Assalamu Alaikum. At the outset, I must congratulate my colleague, Professor Seema, and her entire team for organizing this important conference. In fact, sir, ever since the NEP 2020 was rolled out in the UT, we've been organizing such conferences and workshops on the policy quite regularly under the aegis of Higher Education Department in different colleges and universities. And the idea is to debate and discuss the best possible ways to implement the policy. So we take a lot of pride in the fact that UT of J&K took a lead in rolling out NEP 2020. This involved major overhaul and restructuring of academic program from 3 to 4 years, revamping of curriculum, integration of NSQF and non-NSQF based scale courses, flexible multiple entry-exit options to facilitate lifelong learning. To build the requisite infrastructure, adjectives, with different provisions of the policy, the real success would depend on how it actually translates on ground. And in fact, the NEP document clearly states that in the decade of 2030 to 2040, the entire policy will be in operational mode, following which another comprehensive review will be undertaken. Perhaps
of UP of JK, NEP 2020, this was Professor Yasmeen Ashai, and she raised pertinent concerns about policy, its implementation, the role of teachers and administrators and principals and the leaders. Her discussion, as it went, I was reminded of Professor chairperson, who was the committee chairperson of New Education Policy 2020. He said that the policies usually are not implemented the way policymakers think. The issue is mid-level practitioners. For her address, NEP 2020, operationalization in national perspective. Professor Ashai.
I'm honored to be back in this beautiful auditorium one more time at the Institute for Advanced Studies in Education. But before I begin, let me tell you, but I must begin with a sense of deep gratitude to all my colleagues from Kashmir, from Srinagar, who've been inviting me often enough and creating a platform for regular education to come back to you one more time. I'm grateful that in the august dais that we have today, we have with us Shri, Professor Dinesh Singh, who has been our teacher leader for a very long time. Professor Umesh Rai is not here for this seminar, which said pedagogy with evaluation. Now, for me, any such topic or theme that comes becomes immediately a research question. Now, pedagogy was my free life as a teacher, what I taught, my free life as a student, what I learned, and evaluation, always that dull moment that turned all of this beautiful life into a flat format. And let me tell you that under teacher leaders such as Professor Dinesh Singh, who's been there, and I've been really singularly fortunate that when there are good teacher leaders out there, what we didn't realize as young teachers, there is little difference between me today. Why should the teacher be the fountainhead of finite knowledge of a particular lecture topic? Why can the teacher not end up by saying, oh, I didn't even know this? A constant relationship. And in the last 2 years, let me tell you, especially during COVID, when my lecture was stopped by a group saying,
Vice Chancellor, Jammu University, I request Madam Principal Professor Seema to present a bouquet and a souvenir to Professor Umesh Rai. We are very thankful that we have visited our college today in the national conference. Thank you very much. Now we have a special guest here, Professor A. Ravindranath, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central University of Ashai, will be here for a special address.
Honorable President, Professor Dinesh, the Chairman, Education Council, Inaugural Pedagogical, will mainly the theme which is conceived on the pedagogy and as well as the evaluation. So, new approach is what is necessitated for NEP 2020. So, you know very well the NEP 2020 is conceived, and the United Jammu Kashmir is in the forefront in implementing NEP 2020. And there is a lot of debate on this over the years for deeper understanding of these things. One of the important things is we try to understand NEP 2020. The architect of the DYD, the same government degree, Professor Dinesh, I know him more than a decade. First time writing in University of London, a secondary ability and background to be utilized for providing the knowledge, disseminating knowledge. Secondly, the holistic approach in education. We know the holistic approach, not only in the education delivery, the standard setter is the international level is UNESCO. They mentioned that it is the education must help for developing of economy, formation of society, and creating the leaders, so that human development index can be better, and also the economic empowerment of the nation enablers is possible. The co-curricular and extracurricular enable the student for developing innovation and creativity, especially through research engagement. The other aspect is how student can develop the attitudes and values through the physical education is possible. And thirdly, through social service, how we can emerge as a leader. So all these four components are supposed to be three components mainly to be added to the normal teaching system.
Namaskar. Honorable Vice Chairman, Higher Education Council, Professor Dinesh. And I have worked as Director of South Campus when he was the Vice Chancellor. And friends, I think you may not be aware that the National Education Policy, which we are discussing today, 2020, it's a carbon copy, I am saying, carbon copy of that which was implemented in 2012 under the leadership of Professor Dinesh Singh Ji in University of Delhi. Unfortunately, we couldn't run that program into 7 years. But fact of the matter is that the structure which we have implemented, not only in colleges of JNK, across the country, that is against the spirit of National Education Policy. And I am saying this with full responsibility. So, a meeting which was chaired by our Honorable Lieutenant Governor, we decided that keeping the spirit of National Education Policy, a coordination committee would be constituted under the leadership of Professor Dinesh Singh sir, and we would implement the National Education Policy letter and spirit in JNK, and JNK will show the path.
रखी है अब मेरे लिए कुछ खास कहने को रहा नहीं। वैसे भी जो शादीशुदा मर्द होता है, शादी के बाद उसको एहसास हो जाता है कि उसने कितनी दानिशमंदी है, कितनी हिकमत है, और उसका एहसास उसको रोज दिलाया भी जाता है। तो शायद मैं कम बोलूं तो बुरा नहीं होगा, और उमेश राय जी और रविंद्रनाथ जी मुझसे इत्तेफाक रखेंगे कि वैसे भी हम लोगों की बोलने की आदत भी धीरे धीरे छूटी जाती है शादी के बाद। लेकिन सीमा जी ने मुझे बाइज्जत यहाँ पर बुलाया है और वाजिब होगा कि मैं कुछ तो बात रखूं। आज का जो सिलसिला है, जो विषय है, सब्जेक्ट, वो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में क्या करना चाहिए, जिसमें कि असेसमेंट को अहमियत दी गई है और भी बातें हैं। आई वुड लाइक the audience here, particularly the young, I want you to think about this. You are as I understand, in an institution of education, a reputable institution. Have you thought about this? What is the meaning of education? किसको education कहते हैं? कभी आपने गौर किया? Have you thought about this? अपने अंदर टटोल कर, गुरेद कर, अपने रूह से पूछिए कि education किसको कहते हैं? मैं आपसे सच बोल रहा हूँ, धीरे धीरे आपके जहन में ये बात पैदा होने लगेगी कि शायद कुछ और है जो एजुकेशन है। और मैं मैथमेटिशियन, and mathematicians don't define anything unless they give examples. They illustrate with examples. So let me give you some examples of people who have inspired me, and I'm sure many of them would be your heroes also. They've inspired me, they've given me much. मुझे कहा कि उस दिन से उनको धुन लग गई एक्टिंग की, मुझे एक्टिंग ही करनी है, एक्टिंग ही करनी है। That is called idea, but this is called marching in tune with the drumbeat of your soul. कि मुझे एक्टिंग करनी है तो मुझे मार्च करना होगा इस दुनिया में, इस जमीन पे, उसके साथ, उसके मुताबिक। और ये नहीं था कि मैं तो हीरो बन गया, एक्टिंग का रोल मिला तो बड़ा ढंग से, पूरी आस्था के साथ, कंप्लीट डिवोशन, तो फिर वो आ ही जाती है तुम्हारे पास, पूरी कायनात मिलकर आपको दिला देती है। वही उनके साथ हुआ, लेकिन आपको लगता है क्या उनके साथ हुआ? तेंदुलकर का भी वही हाल है, विराट कोहली का भी। विराट ने तो 12वीं भी नहीं पास की है, वो क्रिकेट वाज द ड्रमबीट ऑफ हिज सोल। उन्होंने फैसला किया मैं यही करूंगा, डिग्री से मुझे कोई वास्ता नहीं है, देखिए कहां से कहां पहुंच गए। लेकिन शोहरत का मतलब नहीं है कि आप सक्सेसफुल हो गए। सक्सेसफुल या एजुकेट होना आप तब होते हैं जब आपका अपना, आपकी अपनी रूह आपको अवार्ड करती है, असेस करके कि आप खड़े उतरे हो। You are marching in harmony with the drumbeat of your soul. कोई जरूरी नहीं है, कबीर also marched in harmony with the drumbeat of his soul.
Second part at I think in half an hour. So we'll be having lunch in multi-purpose hall. Thank you very much.